My chest tightened as I took it all in. On the floor, surrounded by paramedics, was Mark. His skin was blistered, his clothes charred. He'd tried to set fire to the office, but the flames had trapped him instead. "She should have fired me. I hate you." I froze, torn between horror and pity. He was barely conscious when they carried him out. The truth unraveled quickly. Mark hadn't just tried to destroy the business. He'd tried to frame me for arson. He left a can of gasoline in my office and had forged documents suggesting I was transferring money illegally. But his plan backfired when he was caught in the fire he started. Instead of ruining me, he ruined himself. My name is David, and this is the story of how grief, loyalty, betrayal, and karma played out in my life. It begins with love, but as you'll soon see, it twists into something dark and ends in a way that I could never have imagined. I married the love of my life, Sarah, when we were both 26. She had the kind of laughter that turned a bad day into a good one, the kind of warmth that made everyone want to sit close to her. We had a child together, a little girl named Lily. But life, cruel as it can be, struck Sarah with cancer only a few years into our marriage. Despite the chemo, the endless hospital visits, and the prayers whispered late into the night, she passed away. I was left alone, a widower at 31, with a toddler who had her mother's eyes. In those dark days, the only light that kept me going was Sarah's mother, Mrs. Anderson. She wasn't just my mother-in-law, she became my anchor. She came over almost every day, cooked meals, helped with Lily, and reminded me that I wasn't truly alone. Her kindness was the reason I didn't fall apart. One afternoon, over a cup of tea in her sunlit kitchen, she said,
"David, you've been good to my daughter and my granddaughter. You've got a good head on your shoulders too. Come work with me. I'll put you in a high position at my company. It'll keep you busy and give you a way to secure Lily's future."
It was an offer I couldn't refuse. Not only did I want stability for Lily, but I also wanted to honor Sarah by being there for her family. Mrs. Anderson ran a thriving import-export business. She was respected in the community, and working beside her felt natural. But not everyone welcomed me with open arms. Her son, Mark, my brother-in-law, saw me as an enemy from the very first day. "Oh, so now you're trying to replace Dad? Sit in the big chair and be her golden boy, huh?" "Mark, I'm here to work. That's it. Your mom trusts me. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." But it was hard. Mark was lazy, entitled, and arrogant. He openly undermined me at work. In meetings, he would interrupt my presentations with sarcastic remarks. Yeah, we all know Mr. Perfect's got charts and graphs. Let's move on." He'd steal my ideas and present them as his own, trying to win favor from his mother. Worst of all, he mocked me in front of the employees. "Careful, everyone. Our perfect son-in-law might write another report on you. Don't sneeze the wrong way or he'll tell mommy." Some employees laughed nervously, but most exchanged glances, clearly respecting me more than him. That only fueled his hatred. The bigger problem? He was siphoning money from the company accounts. I discovered it after a month of reviewing financials. At first, I hesitated. He was family, after all. But then I thought about Mrs. Anderson, about Lily, about the company's employees who depended on their paychecks. I had to report it. I don't know how to say this, but Mark's been embezzling funds. Here are the records. Her face turned pale as she scanned the numbers. She didn't say much, but I knew it hit her hard.
"If he doesn't shape up, David, I'll have no choice but to fire him. My own son. Can you imagine?"
She gave him warning after warning, but Mark never listened. Instead, he started lashing out at employees. He threatened staff, made them work late nights, and once even forced an intern to miss his graduation ceremony by demanding a last-minute project. He became crueler the more he realized his mother was siding with me. He hated me even more for telling the truth. But then, complaints from employees started piling up at Mrs. Anderson's office. They whispered about Mark's constant mocking, his late-night demands, and the money disappearing from petty cash. Every memo I forwarded to her only made him angrier.
"Mrs. Anderson, I don't feel safe working here. Mark, he yelled at me for no reason again."
"He made me stay until midnight yesterday. I missed my daughter's recital."
"Mark, I warned you. I cannot allow this to continue. You're fired."
Mark stormed out of her office, slamming the door so hard the glass shook. From that day, he looked at me like I was the embodiment of every frustration he'd ever felt. He hated me even more for telling the truth. It was a war, and I was the enemy he couldn't beat. Then came the night that changed everything. It was nearly midnight when my phone rang. The police. "Mr. David, we need you at the office immediately. There's been a fire. Someone's inside, we're not sure who." I rushed over, heart pounding. As I arrived, the scene was chaos. Alarms blared. Smoke poured from the windows. Firemen shouted orders as water blasted from hoses. Neighbors gathered on the sidewalk, murmuring and pointing. My chest tightened as I took it all in. On the floor, surrounded by paramedics, was Mark. His skin was blistered, his clothes charred. He'd tried to set fire to the office, but the flames had trapped him instead. "She should have fired me. I hate you." I froze, torn between horror and pity. He was barely conscious when they carried him out. The truth unraveled quickly. Mark hadn't just tried to destroy the business. He'd tried to frame me for arson. He left a can of gasoline in my office and had forged documents suggesting I was transferring money illegally. But his plan backfired when he was caught in the fire he started. Instead of ruining me, he ruined himself. The insurance covered the damages, the files were backed up, and the damage was manageable. He didn't succeed in destroying the company. Instead, he destroyed himself. Mrs. Anderson, heartbroken but resolute, filed a police complaint. She cut ties with him. Every asset he had was seized: his cars, his luxury apartment, his bank accounts.
David, I can't believe this is my son. But I won't let him drag the rest of us down. From now on, you're in charge. You're in.
Those words sealed my fate. Overnight, I became the head of the company. I rebuilt what he tried to destroy. We thrived. I worked harder than ever, not just for Lily, but for Mrs. Anderson, who had shown me what real family was. And Mark? Well, let's just say karma is cruel and thorough. After being discharged from the hospital, he was confined to a wheelchair, half-burned and bitter. With no money, no friends, and no family to lean on, he ended up in a rundown one-bedroom apartment. Petty karma hit him hardest. His neighbors threw trash near his door. A dog barked all night outside his window, keeping him awake. And his wheelchair ramp broke down constantly, forcing him to beg for help from the very people who mocked him. I heard through the grapevine that he sat alone all day, glaring at the walls, hating me more with each passing moment. One day, I happened to stop by a gas station near his place. I saw him, sitting outside, glaring at the world as if it had personally betrayed him. He looked up, recognized me, and scowled. "You stole my life." "No, Mark. You lit the match yourself." I walked away before he could respond, leaving him fuming in silence. That was the twist of fate. The man who tried to burn everything to the ground ended up trapped in his own personal hell, while I rose from the ashes. Sometimes revenge doesn't come from plotting. It comes from life itself. A few weeks later, I visited Sarah's grave. Lily held my hand, her small fingers wrapped around mine. "Sarah, I kept my promise. Lily's safe. The business is thriving. Your mother is stronger than ever. Your family is whole, except for Mark." But that was his choice. The wind blew gently, as if Sarah herself was listening. I kissed Lily's forehead, stood up, and walked away with peace in my heart. Anyway, that's my story. Now, if you enjoyed it, don't just sit there looking dramatic. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and remember, if your brother-in-law ever tries to burn you down, just let karma handle it.